It was 3 a.m. and there it was again. That unmistakable, crinkling, grating sound echoing from the kitchen. I dragged myself out of bed, flipped on the lights, and caught my cat Luna in the act. She wasn't eating her premium, scientifically formulated kibble. She was obsessively, almost hypnotically, licking a plastic grocery bag. For the longest time, I thought she was just being, well, a little bit stupid. I assumed she was hungry, bored, or perhaps suffering from a dangerous eating disorder known as pica. My immediate reaction was always to scold her, snatch the bag away, and hide it in a drawer. But the next day, she would find another one. It became a frustrating game of hide and seek, and honestly, I felt like I was failing as a cat parent. But as an ethology enthusiast and behaviorist, I realized I was looking at this completely backward. I was treating the symptom instead of understanding the psychology. I thought the bag was the problem. It turns out my cat wasn't broken and she wasn't lacking intelligence. She was experiencing a profound sensory and neurochemical phenomenon. And if you were constantly ripping plastic bags away from your cat without understanding why they are doing it, you are actually triggering a severe stress loop in their brain. Today, I'm going to show you exactly why your cat is obsessed with licking plastic and how understanding this bizarre behavior will completely transform your relationship with them. To understand the plastic bag obsession, we have to look at the invisible world of feline sensory biology and chemistry. Let's start with the bag itself. You might think plastic is completely synthetic and odorless, but to your cat, it is a culinary masterpiece. Many modern plastic bags are manufactured using slip agents to prevent them from sticking together. These slip agents are heavily derived from stearates, specifically animal fats and tallow. Furthermore, many biodegradable bags are now made from cornstarch. While you and I smell nothing, your cat possesses up to 200 million odor sensors in their nasal cavity, compared to our measly 5 million. But it goes deeper than that. Cats have a specialized olfactory structure called the vomeronasal organ, or Jacobson's organ, located at the roof of their mouth. When they lick the bag, they aren't just tasting it, they're gathering chemical pheromones and fat molecules, pressing them against this organ to analyze them directly in the amygdala, the brain's emotional center. But the science of the plastic obsession goes far beyond mere smell and taste. It's rooted in neurology and stress management. Have you ever noticed that your cat tends to lick plastic more often when there's been a change in the house? A new piece of furniture, a loud noise outside, or an altered feeding schedule? In veterinary behavioral medicine, this is often classified as a displacement behavior. When a cat experiences a spike in cortisol, the primary stress hormone, they seek out a self-soothing mechanism. The repetitive motion of a rough, barbed tongue gliding over the smooth, taut surface of a plastic bag triggers the parasympathetic nervous system. It releases a steady drip of endorphins and dopamine into the brain. It is the feline equivalent of a human biting their nails or clicking a pen during a stressful meeting. When I used to yank the bag away from Luna, I wasn't just taking away a toy. I was abruptly stripping away her coping mechanism, leaving her with elevated cortisol levels and nowhere to direct that nervous energy. However, to truly decode this behavior, we have to step out of our modern kitchens and travel back thousands of years to the arid deserts of the Middle East, the ancestral home of Felis libica, the African wildcat from which all domestic cats descend. Your cat, despite sleeping on a plush velvet sofa, is biologically hardwired as an apex micropredator. In the wild, the predatory sequence is highly specific: stare, stalk, pounce, kill, bite, and eat. But indoor cats rarely get to complete this sequence. We hand them food in a bowl. This creates a buildup of predatory frustration. Now, think about the acoustic properties of a plastic bag. When a cat interacts with it, the high-frequency crinkling sound registers perfectly in the 20,000 to 60,000 hertz range. In the wild, what else operates in that exact acoustic frequency? The rustling of dry leaves as a small mouse or beetle scurries through the desert brush. When your cat hears that crinkle, it triggers their primal evolutionary dopamine rush. The bag becomes the ultimate phantom prey. Furthermore, the physical sensation of their barbed tongue tearing and manipulating the thin plastic perfectly mimics the sensation of plucking feathers from a bird or tearing the skin of a rodent. Your cat isn't just licking a grocery bag. They're satisfying a dormant ancestral hunting sequence that the modern indoor environment has completely suppressed. So, how do we fix this? Now that I understood Luna wasn't trying to annoy me, but was rather self-soothing and hunting, I completely changed my approach. You cannot simply extinguish a biologically driven behavior. You must redirect it. First, we must lower the baseline ambient stress in the home. I implemented the golden N+1 rule for feline resources. A cat needs N+1 of everything, where N is the number of cats. One cat means 2 litter boxes, 2 scratching posts, and 2 distinct water stations. By spreading out resources, you instantly lower territorial anxiety and consequently the cortisol levels that drive compulsive licking. Second, I stopped yelling and grabbing. I introduced the 3-second redirection rule. If I catch Luna licking a stray bag, I don't panic. I calmly walk over, and within 3 seconds of gently removing the bag, I offer an ethologically appropriate substitute that provides the same sensory feedback. I use silvervine sticks. Silvervine contains actinidin and dihydroactinidolide, compounds that elicit a euphoric response similar to catnip, but it provides the hard, textural resistance their teeth and tongues are craving. I also started using crinkle toys and foraging mats. I hide highly aromatic freeze-dried minnows in a felt snuffle mat. Now, when she wants to hear that rustling sound and engage her vomeronasal organ with animal fats, she stalks the mat, completing the full predatory sequence in a healthy, safe way. Looking back, those frustrating 3 a.m. wake-up calls weren't acts of defiance. They were a profound miscommunication between 2 different species trying to share a home. When Luna was licking that bag, she was trying to cope with the sterile, predictable human environment I had placed her in. She was reaching out to her wild instincts just to feel grounded. Being a proactive cat parent isn't about perfectly training your cat to act like a quiet, convenient roommate. It's about becoming a translator. It's about looking past the annoying habits and seeing the wild, beautiful, highly sensitive creature underneath. Once I stopped treating Luna like a nuisance and started treating her like a feline, the obsessive plastic licking stopped. But more importantly, our bond deepened. She trusted me more because I finally understood what she was trying to say. If you've ever caught your cat obsessing over something bizarre, I want to hear your story. Drop a comment below and let's decode their behavior together. Don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into the hidden psychology of our feline companions. Until next time, give your little apex predator a chin scratch for me.